There was a video that I made yesterday, but it didn't save because my memory was full, and I need to transfer. I'm working on a Chromebook, and the memory's not very high, so I had to transfer all my videos to another one. But in it, actually, I think what happened is the video cut off halfway through. I think it recorded, and then for some reason it just stopped recording the second half. And in the second half, I talked about the possibility of going to Mars. I don't know the truth about, I know that we're in some sort of timeline, and I don't know how it will be when it comes to Mars. Like, I know Mars is definitely not ready right now. Can a human soul go to Mars right now? I don't know. I mean, right now I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, if I'm time traveling, I feel like the Matrix has got more things to prioritize rather than sending souls to Mars and back, if it's, in this timeline. Um, so I don't know if it's possible. It might be. I don't know. I wouldn't recommend going right now, but yeah, I definitely feel like you can't go past Pluto. I feel like there'll be some sort of stop. Likewise, I don't think aliens can come through Pluto. No, this is the reason why I don't think aliens have come to Earth. I feel like it's like the Lion King thing. Anything that the sun reaches is yours. That's what they say to the lion cubs. That's what the king lion says to Simba. And I feel like there's truth to that. I feel like we're in some sort of timeline, and like a CD, when you play it, I think it goes, or is it what's it, a record CD record player? It goes around like that. So the timeline is kind of working a little bit like that, only a sort of three-dimensional version of it because it's a timeline, and the Earth does get closer and closer to the sun. I don't think I did the same to Venus because I feel like there's way too many souls here, and I'm struggling, and I wouldn't have made a 10-year timeline, a 10-year tribulation unless I really had to. So my theory is that I have come from a different sun. I feel like there might have been another one because there was two comets, and the first one didn't. There was two comets, and the first one I think pierced a massive hole in oh no, the first one actually was so big they reckon that it actually cut the hole in the ozone layer actually got covered over. But I don't know. I feel like I didn't do that one, and I feel like because of this dream that I had a dream where these shadow men, I don't know what else to call them, shadow men told me that there was this planet that no one else could fix, and they needed someone who was very experienced to do that. I had a dream that happened, and then I kind of went like that, and I saw a comet come down, and it killed all the dinosaurs. Like, I had a dream. It was very, very vivid. It was a very cool dream, and it's stuck in my memory. It will never go away. There's also the name Tinny that seems to come in my memory. My memory's really bad, so it's really strange how I can remember that name. But I don't think she was. If there was another god here that failed, I don't think it was her. But yeah, I believe that this is the first time that I've worked on this particular sun. How it will be for Mars, I don't know. I mean, if humans can have if Earth does become too hot and too close to the sun and starts falling apart, if humans can move on to there and inhabit it and stuff, that would be good. I think ultimately, really getting into light and becoming a god yourself is actually the ultimate dream. But if that's not possible, then maybe you will be able to go to Mars, in a few thousand years or whenever. I don't know because Mars might not be ready for a few million years. I think if that's the case, then the timeline will just end here when it has to. And I'm sure people will attempt to go to Mars, but if they will succeed, I just don't know. But if that is the case, then I'll just be making a new timeline on that planet, and I don't know if I'll be able to lift all the souls from this Earth into onto Mars and just create a new timeline there. Maybe, hopefully the timeline won't be as awful. I don't believe that a 10-year tribulation is normal. I think it's usually 3 years, 3.5, maybe 6, maybe 7, but definitely not 10. And yeah, I'll just be doing that. I know that. As for like aliens coming in and out, I don't think anything can come in and out of Pluto. I think whatever the furthest planet is that revolves around the sun, you know that all these planets are part of the timeline. Why? Because every moment of the day, those planets can be seen, and they're orbiting the same light. And I feel like everything's a contradiction. Light and dark come from the sun, and this is where I get my energy, or the energy to make the timeline from is used from the a sort of spiritual energy of the sun, and that's my guess. But yeah, I can't be too specific. But yeah, I've heard. I said this in a post or something about Pluto, and I've noticed that there's a rumor that USA Big Brother are doing free live feed. I don't know if that's true, but they said it was going to be on Pluto TV or something, and it reminded me of the post that I made yesterday. Um, Pluto is probably the furthest from the sun, or the furthest from God you can get, from the light that you can get. So I don't know if that's really a nice name, but at the same time, whatever. I think I don't want to read into it too much, but yeah, that's just my thoughts on it. I don't really, I don't know the future. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't even believe that humans have been on the moon. Like I don't believe anything. I never believed that because I think I saw a video where they said that there's no shadowing on the moon, and they also said how fake it looked. And I've never seen any other footage other than that one that was taken a very long time ago. And I just think if people have been to the moon, then I'm sure spaceships. I think spaceships have definitely landed on the moon, but I don't think people have actually been on the moon. I don't believe it. If they could, if people showed me evidence and proof, I'd believe it. But if I've not seen that evidence or proof, I wouldn't believe it. And from what I've seen, I don't think I've seen enough evidence to believe that people have landed on the moon. But I I might be wrong about things. As for going to Mars, I just don't know. I wouldn't recommend it now because it's not going to be a great life in any way. So, but yeah, I think if you can go, if you do in like 1,000 years time create some really good spaceships that can go to all the planets, maybe that will happen. Maybe you can do that, but I wouldn't go past Pluto. That's what I'm saying.